What are kinesthetic intuitive talents, and how can you leverage your natural skill set and intuitive abilities and superpowers to enrich and enhance your everyday life? Let's jump into it. Hey there, adepts and initiates. If you haven't yet, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you can stay in contact and constant communication with all of the new material and content that comes out on this station. Welcome back. So we talked about previously the concept of intuitive talents and how these 4 different categories are something that each and every one of us have access to, and we also can specialize in. Today I'm going to talk all about the concept of kinesthetic or physical and body-based awareness, and how this level of intuition is not just the most accurate of the bunch, can also be something that can really create new areas of opportunity in your life. And as we look at this, one of the things about kinesthetic awareness is that it is all about materiality. Whereas we've had psychic, empathic, and energetic, each and every one of these have their own realm, if you will. Kinesthetic is all about our body. Can include things like spatial awareness, can include things like our ability to navigate social situations, can be everything in terms of even like high athleticism. It's something that really is based upon the general feel in terms of the sensory organs, the physical sensory organs of our body. And it's something that is incredible because as we look at it, it's related to the muscular system, the skeletal system, and really our place in space. Now, for those of you who have kinesthetic as your primary, you probably find things relatively easy in the world. It almost seems like it comes easy because one of the powers of a kinesthetic is the capacity to manifest and to materialize. I mean, just materializing this, that, and the other. Also being able to be very present within your body can be something as well, whether that be a matter of high physicality and athleticism to being able to really be very adept in social situations, whether we're talking about things that are more professional, being able to relate to clients in a certain way, also being able to better move through more personal things like relationships. With kinesthetic awareness, a big part of that comes back into embodiment and being able to bring in certain energies and to be that in your physicality. Now, the great thing about that is that whether we're talking about, the Olympics or whether we're talking about just hanging out and gathering friends together, it's a very magnetic quality because the nature of the physical and kinesthetic awareness is by its nature more feminine and receptive. And to kind of clarify, there's parts and pieces that come in with each and every one of these that make it more tangible and intangible. Kinesthetic, very tangible, it's all about our body. And then also more outward and inward. And so as these different flows and energies and distinctions come into play, we'll talk about that in relationship to all 4 of these as well. Because of the nature of the kinesthetic being very body-based, it's something that when we look at getting more into like the intangible, more of a spiritual connection, if you will, when we get into things around more like concepts, in the psychic realm, for example, can sometimes be a little difficult. Now, what that tends to lead to, though, is it's a matter of those checks and balances. And when we get into the actual superpowers of the kinesthetic, I mean, they are quite profound. Whether we're talking, again, about high athleticism, being able to do things that other people simply cannot do, being able to materialize things, right? Bring into the world and to create the desires and the manifestations that you so want in your world. Being able to deeply relate, and that's a really big part of it. Borders on the lines of the empath, however, it's different. It's like shared physical experiences. It's things that really can bring people together, and in doing so, really find common ground in terms of the sensations of life. Now, these are great things in everyday life that can be used both personally and professionally. When we look at how we can use that professionally, kinesthetics are really great at being able to pick up new skill sets. And so if you've got something to learn, something to take on, then that's terrific because you're more able to adapt to things and quickly too. In terms of the physicality, I mean, kinesthetics are generally pretty strong. They're able to do things in terms of skilled labor, yet also things in terms of the arts, because of not just the larger global movements of the body like professional athletes, also the fine motor skills and dexterity that's needed for very skilled types of crafts, musicians, artists, things of that nature. And so as we look at all of those pieces, though, behind that in terms of that professional piece, the materialization aspect and the embodiment is really very cool to look at, because in terms of a professional setting, looking at things in terms of being able to really create something powerful. One of the things about kinesthetics, because it is more body-based and physicality, it's not typically the person who goes off on their own per se. It's someone who wants to have a team to work with. It's someone who wants to be part of and to belong to something. And so being a part of a team that is looking at, large-scale global change, to doing something and bettering the community, to just being able to relate with each other and have more fun. These are all things that kinesthetics can do, are apt, able, and actually incredibly capable at doing. And so if you're a kinesthetic, then I highly recommend doing things in terms of being more present within your body. Things like going for walks, exercise, things in terms of being able to also tip the scale in the opposite direction, because kinesthetic awareness generally requires some kind of movement. So getting that to express itself early in the morning is terrific. That'll set you up for success the rest of the day. And then also creating time and space for slowing things down, entering into stillness, entering into silence, whether that's meditation. Breath work is incredibly effective with kinesthetics. There's a real sensory experience that comes with all of that as well. For now, though, that's it on the kinesthetic awareness. Join me for the other 3, psychic, empathic, and energetic as well. Love and aloha, take care, and ahui ho.